When I saw those lily white hands, when I saw those pearly white hands, I thought to myself, what a white sight. What a beautiful white thing to happen that does not have anything to do with me, that should not blow back on me at all.
What's my name? Welcome back to the channel. So, if you're wondering why that I have not uploaded any videos throughout the entire week, this was the last week for a shutdown for the holidays until January 6th of next year, up to 2025. And that was the reason why I couldn't even upload any videos. And also top of that, each day throughout this week, instead of yesterday, I've been stuck at work for like 14 hours plus trying to get everything in order, trying to get ready for January, etc., etc. So I'm off for like the next 2.5 weeks, so expect some more video uploads and everything else. So we are back with some more Josh Johnson. This one's called The Failure, The Fear, and The Frenzy around Luigi Mangione. You guys don't know who he is. He is a guy who actually had shot the CEO of the healthcare. I want to say it took place up in New York, like a couple weeks ago, like a few days ago, by the time I am recording this. And this whole thing is like really weird though, so I want to see what Josh Johnson's point of view is. So obviously this is like an hour long, so I'm going to definitely be putting this into 2 parts, probably like 30 minutes or plus whatever. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it.
It's funny how sometimes people like enter your life without you ever meeting them. Like you don't get to know them, but you hear stories about this person through the people that you know or a friend of a friend, but then they just keep coming up and you feel like they're in your life, even though you've never met them. You wouldn't know them on the street if you saw them, right? There was a guy like that for me named Marty. I never met Marty. Wouldn't have been able to track him down if you gave me a 23andMe and a genealogy test or something like that. I knew Marty through stories, because Marty had an interesting life. This dude spent a bunch of time in France. He was American born, lived in France for a long time, learned French super fluently, and apparently he told one of his friends, this is how I heard the story, that he dreamed in French. Like he spoke English, obviously, and he lived in the States again, but his dreams would just be full of people speaking French at different points and stuff. And it came up because here in the US, he met someone and they fell in love, but she was French. So went all the way to France, didn't meet anybody. Came back here, met a French woman, right? And
oh yeah, mind you, also I can't really like scream too loud because right now I'm recording this is like 12:33 in the morning, so I can't really scream out loud because my daughter is like asleep, so I'm just giving you guys a heads up.
There was a day where Marty he basically, in a nutshell, forgot his girlfriend's birthday. It was their first year together, so we're still like been dating some months, but hanging out all the time and everything. I said, my birthday, you're supposed to remember, that's part of the relationship quiz. And it kept seeming like maybe there was a surprise waiting or he was pretending to have forgotten or something, and then he went and took a nap. Yeah, not only did you forget my birthday, you napping in my face. And then I guess when she realized that he genuinely did forget, she woke him up, and she woke him up mad. And when she was mad, she'd go straight to French, right? Because she'd be so mad she wasn't putting it in English for him. And so he woke up to his girlfriend yelling at him in French. So he thought he was still dreaming.
So he went back to sleep.
So wakes him up, Can't believe you forget my birthday. What's wrong with you? Are you out of your mind? You over here playing in my face all day? All in French. I'm paraphrasing. And then he was squinting, real tired, and he's looking up at her and just wonders, I guess, to himself, am I having a dream right now? And so he
Go back to sleep.
casually, while she's yelling at him, puts his finger in her mouth. I don't know if you ever had somebody forget your birthday before, but you definitely have not had them put their finger in your mouth as you were letting them have it.
That's new for me.
And there was like felt like dozen funny stories like that about Marty. Marty was an interesting dude, and he just moved in different circles than me. Never met Marty or anything. But Marty got older, got married, had some kids and stuff. And then Marty got sick, and Marty had cancer. And, you know, there were some treatments that they could try, but it wasn't looking good, and his insurance wasn't gonna cover it, and he couldn't do it out of pocket, and Marty passed away.
Wow.
And it's crazy because one of the other things about Marty that people talked about was how he was like a good boss. It's sometimes hard to be a good boss because people don't like being bossed around. You know, like people don't enjoy someone telling them what to do, but somebody gotta tell you what to do if we all work here. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't just show up to work and be like, you figure out whatever you feel like. Nothing would get done. Like there do need to be bosses sometimes in certain situations. It's just how you are a boss, you know? Like there are certain managers that I've had in my life that honestly, I had the easy job and they still made it hell because they were hell to be around, you know? There's nothing like having an easy job that you know is an easy job. I could do this in my sleep, but I gotta do it next to a jerk. That's the worst, you know? You know those people, got time to lean, got time to clean. And this is another thing I have to accept about bosses, I have to accept about managers. There are some jobs where genuinely, it's in the handbook, it's like part of the job. The job makes you kind of come off like, or maybe turn into a bastard. Do you know what I mean? Because there are policy handbooks of companies where if you got time to lean, you got time to clean is in the book. They just quote them. So there are some jobs where you got to be a monster to do them. And there are some jobs that make you a monster, you know? I was thinking about that when the shooting in New York happened. I know. Because for me, in case you didn't know, in case you somehow have not been on Earth, there was a shooting in New York. Basically, this dude walked up behind CEO of United Healthcare, and he shot him several times, and then he went off, right? But apparently he had been camped out there waiting. That dude walks past him. He goes, pop, 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 pop. And then he jumps on, apparently, a city bike, which is not advisable.
Yeah, the rugby tracks.
And then he heads over to Central Park and disappeared into the night/day, because it was day. It was broad daylight, too. That's also what felt so insane about it happening. It happened during the day. You gotta understand, there's New York day things and New York night things. We usually keep the shootings after dark. And when it happened, it shook everything up. Everyone was obsessed. The news was obsessed. The news was obsessed when it happened. The news was like, finally, we have something to talk about that's not Trump. Oh, wow. What a day. So the news talked about it all day. The news talked about it non-stop. The news would even have people on to discuss it who clearly were just finding stuff out in the moment with us on the news. They would bring the expert on and then play the clip. And then the expert would watch the clip and be like, damn, it's like you... You were supposed to know, sir. That's why you're on the news. The news was absolutely obsessed, right? The news even did a thing that I've never seen before that I very much resented, because I'm just gonna be honest with you. This entire time, I'm just gonna be telling you how I feel. I'm not gonna tell you how to feel. I'm not gonna judge how anyone feels. I'm just talking about myself, right? When I saw it happen, when I saw that video footage that they played, when I saw that dude walk up and pull out a gun and point it at that CEO, I thought to myself, thank God those are white hands.
I understand what he's saying, because if that was either like the opposite race, whatever, the media would have definitely have pushed that, because the media always trying to run off of chaos like as much as they can. Just like how they actually were talking about the guy that took down the dude in the subway, trying to say, oh, he was a white supremacist, he was a low-key Nazi, but then turns out that the guy that he had put him down had a record of him kidnapping people, punching old ladies in the face, breaking their face, whatever and such. And then you get the Black Lives Matter movement trying to say, oh, he's racist. Like, when the guy didn't say anything racist, but the kid who was taken out, which by the way he was black, he's one that was on the train saying, I'm gonna go off everyone on his train if you don't give me any food, more money, X, Y, and Z. So I understand why, Josh actually had mentioned it though.
Thank God those are white hands. Oh. When I saw those lily white hands, when I saw those pearly white hands, I thought to myself, what a white sight. What a beautiful white thing to happen that does not have anything to do with me, that should not blow back on me at all. What a white moment in America. And then in their obsession, continually, over and over again, describing what happened, going over what happened, the news did something. CBS this morning showed the clip. They showed this man walk up, pull out the gun, and they said on CBS in the morning, a light-skinned man.
CNN always does that crap. I didn't know that happened. CNN always does that crap all the time, trying to do this race bait and stuff. Golly, it don't matter if you're black. I didn't know they did that. I did not know they did that. Jesus Christ, CNN. I am so disappointed, y'all. It's like, it's already bad enough you already had lied about half of the things that Biden didn't do and then Trump did. Like, come on.
Walk up, pull out the gun. And they said on CBS in the morning, a light-skinned man. No. No. Light skin. When has the news ever said light skin? What's next, CBS? Redbone? Light skin. I was horrified. No, you know, if it had been a black person, they would say black, because they love saying black. Anytime a black person does something, the news is like, this black. This black was last seen at the scene of the crime. You know this black. If you've seen this particular black, call this number so you can report him for his blackety-black crime. Guys, light skin. The news was obsessed with it, top to bottom. You could not watch anything else. I'm sure stuff was happening everywhere in the world, but you wouldn't know it. Just kept circling this one block in Manhattan, and people were obsessed with it. Us, were obsessed with it. It's all I heard people talking about. People who I know don't watch the news, people who I know don't really care about current events. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was debating it on social, online. Everyone was talking about it. People were so obsessed that the backpack that the shooter was wearing sold out.
Are you kidding me?
Because in America, everything is an ad, including murder.
Like that also reminds me when they were like idolizing Jeffrey Dahmer, like how they kept saying, "Oh, it's too bad that he was cute." Like, "Oh, we feel sorry for him because like, he was just different." Like, what? Like, no. Like, why are we trying to humanize murderers? Like, and the backpack sold out. So stupid, man.
Because in America, everything is an ad, including murder. People were so obsessed. You know, like those Timothy Chalamet lookalike contests they've been having in New York? A bunch of white people got together, because they knew he was white. A bunch of white people got together in the park and all dressed like the shooter and had a shooter look-alike contest. And it's been done in comedy before. I understand. It's a joke that's well-worn. White people be like this. Black people be like this. But can I just say, as a black person, we have never, as black people, watched the news, seen the suspect, and then went outside specifically dressed as the suspect. We've never watched the morning, the 8 o'clock, the 10 o'clock, the midnight news and been like, oh, that's a good fit right there. Let me make sure I got it right. A red bandana. Okay, I need a red one. All right. That's just how you can tell being white is a different experience, because these white people racially profiled themselves for fun. That was... That's just having a time. So the news was obsessed, and people were obsessed, and CEOs were obsessed. CEOs were like, what happened? Oh my God. Oh my God, are you serious? And they didn't know each other? Kids, he just did that? in broad daylight to one of us. CEOs started making moves, man. CEOs of all the healthcare companies started taking down all of their profiles. All of their LinkedIns were just
I don't blame them.
back to factory settings. And look, I need to be clear about something. I mean, you're gonna glean this off of me the entire time. I don't want anybody to die.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Sorry,
I don't celebrate death in any way, right? But I will say, if you feel in the wake of this thing happening, like you have to scrub all mention of you, all knowledge of your existence off of the internet, then maybe, just maybe, take a look at how you do business, take a look at the person. Do you know what I mean? Because I've seen this thing before in a different way. Okay, so I had a buddy who I went to his apartment for the first time, and this dude, I understand taking precautions, because that's what they will say they were doing. They were like, we don't know the motive, we don't know why this person would do this thing, we don't know who they are, we don't know if they're gonna come for one of us, so we try to protect ourselves, you know, we just take everything off. And that's what this guy was doing. I went to his house for the first time, went to his place, and he had 6 locks on his door.
That's too much.
At 6 locks, something needs to change. At 6 locks, you either need to move or change your ways, all right? Because this dude had 6 locks. He was dealing a little bit of drugs and stuff, but I was like, 6 is, come on. What are you doing? It takes you a minute and a half to open the door. I can hear it. You hear chains, you hear all stuff. You know?
That's crazy.
I was like, isn't this worse for you? You really worried somebody coming to get you? You got 6 locks. You sure you won't get killed trying to get in?
All right, y'all, so that was the part 1 of this special event thing. I would definitely finish this up later on today. It is going 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to try to get some rest and everything. Then we will try to head on back and try to finish this thing. So if you guys actually enjoyed this reaction today, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Let me know in the comment section down below what to react to next. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, my name is Russell, and I'll see you guys next episode. Peace.